Attention gamers. In my last video I preached about the benefits of saying sayonara to dealing with sped supports and rocking ADCs in the mid lane, and today I would like to continue this mid lane marksman movement. So first, here are some thoughts about why this is effective. Pro Guides recently released a video on the topic and I took one for the team and watched all 11 minutes just to tell you that it's because league games are getting shorter. Basically, an ADC at level 18 with 100% crit is still fully capable of some dang spanks to boost your ranks. But in the current meta, games are being decided and ended when the peanut gallery of solo laners are level 13s and you are a level 8 with one item and praying to RN Jesus Christ himself for some crits. Which makes duo lane XP and crit builds a long-term investment strategy when there are better options available. Fighting with 25% crit is relying a lot on random chance when you already roll the dice every time you queue up bot by having the possibility of getting a piece of gravel as your support. So in this video I will show why mid lane and lethality are the way to play ADCs in the current short game meta by rocking this strategy on Miss Bubblegum Boobies, and then we'll take you on an adventure of me practicing my counting on Mr. Fantastic 4. Now if you are excited to see a below average ADC dominate some scrub mummies in the mid lane, please flash and ignite the shiz out of that upward thumb button and subscribe for more content. Alright my biz niches cats out of the bag, I ran Dark Harvest in these games because there's nothing like seeing little fragile hush puppies glowing red in the middle of the night knowing you are about to push pop them like a sugar addict 8-year-old whose parents forced him to play freaking t-ball even though that sport sucks ass, so the only thing getting him through the games was concession stand candy afterwards. Totally not projecting, but really I could care less what runes you take because this vid is about mid, so be a good kid and do as I did in this vid, preachies. The game starts with this bird nerd calling for Clarice and Benson to tickle these titties, so obviously I flash on dat ass, to which he calls in Jeeves just in time to witness his master being murdered in cold blood by some bimbo who is clearly an untrained assassin, but the right clicks on hot chicks game never fails. Then I figured I will stroll these thick thighs down into bot because the simp from Shurima went missing and turns out he was just being terrible down here now, so we club the scrub with an anchor under a storm of sparkles which results in the prick prince getting pooged on. But I don't dress up like the slut at a roller skating rink in the 70s just to wet my mouth with an assist, so I channel what I thought at the time was a strategically placed ult only for my support to prove that he thinks in black and white, but early game lethality is enough to force a rat fatality. Fast forward through me taxing my ADC, then wasting more time being indecisive before I join the team and making sure this fat bull doesn't hurt the bipolar cat lady, which lands us another kill. Back at mid and I am just having fun leading on these prince's soldiers, letting them think they have a chance at this ass only to run away as the king orders his entire staff to look away to avoid the embarrassment of his failed play. A minute later and I am just behind a wall stuffing more toilet paper into my bra as I see the crazy cat lady about to do something stupid, so I hit a flash ult into peekaboo proc on my auto for the kill as the bull sends his grandfather away because he is busy getting lit on fire and running away like a little bovine bitch. Their bot lane stomped on ours, big surprise there, and now they are chilling at my place, so I tell the walking submarine to do something useful and he grabs a little rat as mommy long legs parkours her way in for the gangbang, but she has never been involved in homicide before, so her panic reaction is to draw hexagons on the ground as I offer all parties involved a plethora of flaming gumballs, at which point I feel my team should be able to take care of the rest, but I stand corrected as I have to run back in to finish the job myself. Half my team is back at Fountain wondering why the color on their screens has been off most of the game, but Mama Rab didn't raise no bitch, so I go hyperbolemic flamethrower which insta cooks the burn victim and scares the bird so much that he completely freezes up, but he is glowing and I am the harvester of dark, so he gets Ubered to Fountain as well. Then it's just Ollie Oxen free against us three, so we give him a performance by the right clicks chicks and send him home. I guess the giant erect worm in river has attracted both teams top, and despite my team correctly going after the little rat, I would rather stay stupid and positioned worse than a tampon at a sorority house, so yeah, shit got bloody for me as the ox summons his ancestors to force me to go Shurima surfing, and just when I think I might get away, the top heavy goat does a 40-yard bush dash for my ass. Then, despite there being warnings everywhere that scuttle crabs are an endangered species and that hunting them is illegal, this bedazzled weasel just can't resist the urge to be a douche, so I punish the crime by sticking my pink pistols in that mouse's mouth for an easy kill. My jungler tells me that she sexually identifies as a cat, so I tell her I am taking her to a therapist up top, but we seem to have interrupted the geometry games as the Blady Lady draws a diamond on the ground and then Thunder Thighs responds with a very symmetrical hexagon, which I come in and deem the superior shape by bringing death to the diamond drawer. I get word that the filthy rat is off hunting scuttle crabs again, so we go through the same drill where I tell him to go somewhere private so I can spank his insubordinate ass. Then I see that the kitty is in trouble and I assume the sight of these boobies will baffle the bird, but we are borderline bronze here, so he dashes himself right into danger, which awkwardly results in his guards pinning me to a wall until I stare one in the eyes and say he's next if they don't release me. Back mid for a quick game of surprise you a dead bitch, but he doesn't know that I just threatened his staff, so his soldier just stands there and watches him die. We are casually all topside again as the enemy gets an uncontested dragon, and I am having a weird case of deja vu as I remember giving Debbie Diamond a slap with my ding dong earlier in this same spot, but it turns out she's just a dumb broad who constantly overextends with no vision. The game ends in one last fight as we catch the bovine butt muncher out and I struggle to decide whether I want to auto attack over the wall or just be a useless moron. Then the apes who draw shapes get in one last tussle, which results in Debbie dying again, and I finish the job by going straight flanky Frankie with my bubblegum flamethrowers. This concludes game 1 of my mid lane marksman adventures, so it was time to queue up for game number 2. This one starts with me against Mr. Broad Shoulders Damasi and Dick Spin to win shitbag, so I hit him with a 4 as he aggressively tomahawks one of my favorite hooded midget employees, so I put him in timeout and then I flash ignite those white tights and tell him to passively heal through that, bitch. Then I take an early trip down bot to make sure these midgets don't get a lead, but the one instantly turns me into a green turd, so I tell her I am going to count to 3 and she better stop running, but she doesn't listen, so I score a 4 on that little whore. Back at mid and Mr. Waternoose has joined the White Knight, so I just patiently wait for him to piss off so I can get some alone time with King Douche of Demacia, to which I toss him a bouncy vial of purple drink and ask him to stay a bit so I can hit him with more of the 4. Then I am just holding on to 2 charges of my warding totem as if they earn interest or some shit when the twirling titan flashes and Winter Mint Shivana comes raging and trying to get me to listen to her vent about the hardships of being a woman in a wyvern's body, but she realizes I don't give a shit and leaves. But I have a job to finish, so I zoom out and whiff my first 2 shots only for him to mock me, so I land a 3rd and then leave him in suspense before the grand finale to increment my kill tally. Then 2 big boy mid lane roams help me start rolling purple Ghost Rider a nice little snowball as we catch the Drake Lady trespassing in our neck of the woods, and then I pay a visit bot to put him on a rampage, which you'd think would make him self-sufficient, but sure enough not 2 minutes later he is off provoking that bitch with some powerful anger management problems, so I come down and peel for his ass only for him to decide that his performance there was the one worthy of getting the kill. Then I assume that Puff the dumbass dragon would have learned her lesson to keep her hand claws or whatever the fuck she is out of our jungle, but she has the safety net of being able to dragon dash her way out, so I hit her with a long range purple peen to ask her to stay and meet the family as they all come in and we sacrifice her in some Ouija board looking arena. One more round of Save the Sped Stallion breaks out in river and I load up the long range launch simulation to unload some big boys into the dumb dragon before unnecessarily flashing straight into a wall during my escape. And so you probably think the amount of rift traveling all around the map I did in this game was enough to defend against the inevitable case of the solo queue curse, as I felt like Rav Nani the nomadic noob slayer, just constantly hitting purple peens and catching losers of all shapes, sizes, leg counts and sexual orientations out all alone in the wild. But unfortunately the second I died my entire team of inting monkeys, covered in their own blood, piss and dogshit, outvoted me in a game that was clearly winnable. So I am convinced I will one day prove to you all the power of the mid lane marksman, but I am still working on a cure to this disease you get in this toxic piss pit of a solo queue experience, and that is why you need to slap a like on this video and subscribe to stay up to date with my research. Now a lot of you have been asking for more Rav in your lives, as if you can't just spectate any silver elo game and get the same exact caliber gameplay, but I still figured I would share a few other platforms that I am active on. As of this week I will be streaming on Twitch under the name Hardstuck Rav, and this will not be TTS content, but it'll be a way for me to interact live and answer questions with my community while likely feeding my ass off in games. I will also be posting close to daily videos on a duo channel with Heisman to explore off-meta duo bot lane comps like Perma Snare, Perma Poison and Perma Champs that piss people off. You can also find me on Twitter, where I say stupid shit all the time and get a lot of opinions from my viewers, and finally I also am on Instagram here, where I commentate over viewer clips and post memes, so if you want more Rav, any of those things is your way to get more. Now huge shout out to all my sugar mommies and daddies on Patreon keeping the lights on so I can continue to say stupid stuff over horrible gameplay and trick you all into thinking it's entertaining. Pet your dog, jerk your ween, check my new merch designs out and brush your teeth tonight. Rav out.